Could an American remake of Squid Game actually work? Let's talk about it.
USA! USA!
What's up guys, it's Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content. Let's get into it. Okay, so in the wake of Squid Game Season 2's trailer being released, I did a video on that and talked about that. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, go watch it now if you didn't. There have also been rumors floating around that David Fincher, the director of Fight Club, is planning an American remake of Squid Game.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
Of course, this is not the Squid Game reality series that we saw from Netflix earlier this year, which, if I do say so myself, was actually really good. I enjoyed that a lot. This would actually be like, yeah, an American adaptation of the Squid Game Season 1, I suppose. I guess the natural question to ask is, will the American remake be terrible? There are a lot of examples of America remaking international TV series and movies and then not being very good. Off the top of my head, I can think of a few examples. That being said, a lot of these are in the comedy space as opposed to like the high drama kind of space. The classic British sitcom The In-Betweeners was remade in America to almost unanimous negative reviews. Actually, scrap the almost, I think it was just completely negative reviews. And I think the reason for this is because the British version just had so much British humor in it that just didn't translate well into an American version. They also had a complete flop with an American remake of Skins.
You gonna eat that?
Oh, totally. I'm better now. I'm totally better.
Skins was a teen drama from like the late 2000s, early 2010s that was hugely popular around the world, but the American remake was cancelled after just one season. From here in Australia, the Americans remade one of our classic sitcoms, Kath and Kim. I have never seen it, but it was quickly taken off the air because apparently it was terrible and completely panned by pretty much everyone. And I guess the thing is, sometimes it is hard to take something that is unique to one culture and adapt it into an American form, or any other form for that matter. I guess you could point though to something like The Office with Steve Carell. That show is overwhelmingly successful and of course is based on Ricky Gervais's original The Office in the UK, but The Office US absolutely overtook The Office UK in popularity and probably in legacy as well.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
This could be a big call, but I would argue that most people think of Steve Carell when they think of The Office, not Ricky Gervais.
You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world.
But I guess that is evidence that sometimes US remakes of international shows can really work. And to be honest, I'm a little bit more positive about the idea of a Squid Game US remake because I think there's a few things that would work well about it. Firstly, I think there is an advantage in adapting a show where the original version is in a different language to English. I just think in a way it's not as easy to compare to something that has been adapted from English to English. The other thing that I think would work well, particularly with Squid Game, is the subject matter. As I've mentioned in other videos about Squid Game, it is extremely critical of Western capitalist ideals and values. It completely tears down that entire system and highlights all of the negative aspects to capitalism and greed and wealth and corporate greed and all of that yuck stuff.
We could make trillions.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
And of course that's an issue in Korea where the show is originally from, but I think there is no greater figure of capitalism and capitalist values than the USA.
Family, religion, friendship. These are the three demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business.
And in that sense, I think there is a lot of really great satire and critique that can be done in a US version. Maybe not in a more nuanced way as the original Korean version, because I feel like the American version would be much more explicit in the satire or in the cultural critique it's trying to do. But I think it could still be different, but ring true to the original Squid Game's critique, because at the core of Squid Game is a critique of Western values. And there's two ways they could go about it. One is like a one-to-one sort of remake with an American script and maybe different games to localize it a bit more. Like even the game Squid Game that they play in the last episode isn't really a game that the West is familiar with. So maybe they would have to change that to something completely different to suit a Western audience.
I want to play a game.
Same thing goes for that honeycomb game where they have to scratch out the shapes. Like that's not really a thing we do in Australia or the States or the UK. So maybe they could swap it out with like a similar arts and crafts kind of thing from the West.
And we're going to put a happy little bush right down over here in the corner there. And that'll just be our little secret.
The other way they could go about it, which I think would be both more interesting and more valuable to a viewer, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but hear me out. I think it would be great if it was just set in the same universe as the Korean Squid Game. Like instead of being a remake, make it more of a spin-off or like a diverted path to the original. I mean, we've already seen in the original Squid Game that the games are like spectated by US billionaires. So I think there's scope for this same thing to occur in the United States that occurs in South Korea. And I don't think it would be a stretch to make this like an international global syndicate of crime and death games literally around the world. I think it would be more interesting because it allows for like a deeper lore of the Squid Game sort of saga to happen and just rewards a viewer for being invested in this concept, which is great, by the way. Ultimately, I think there is scope for a US version of Squid Game to be really good, and to be honest, if it does go ahead, I will definitely be watching it. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, hit the subscribe button if you want more content like this pretty much every day. I am growing, and I've seen a lot of comments on my channel recently being like, wow, your content is such good quality for a channel of your size. So please get on board. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, all for engagement and to grow my channel. Like, I really feel like I'm onto something here, and if you enjoy any of my videos, I'd really love to have you around checking them out. Comment below, what is your favorite US remake of an international show, and would you watch a US version of Squid Game, and do you think it could work? I'd love to hear your thoughts down there. That is pretty much it from me for this video, but I'll have many more to come. My name's Radio Mike, this has been The Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.